All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the March 25th, 2024 meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Zoning Adjustment. The Board of Zoning Adjustment is a 5-member board. 3 affirmative votes are required to approve a request for variance or other appeal. For anyone addressing the board today, please give us your name and address for the record, and then tell us what your hardship is or what your objection to this request may be. You will be given our decision today verbally, and you will receive our decision in writing within 10 days. Zoning approvals can be issued immediately following the hearing in our office at room B200. However, you will first be required to obtain a permit from the Jefferson County Department of Health if your application involves connection to a septic tank, or the Jefferson County Environmental Services Department if your application involves connection to sanitary sewer. Anyone disagreeing with the board's decision today has 15 days in which to file an appeal in circuit court. Also, we would ask that you silence any electronic devices during this hearing. Okay. First item on the agenda is case number A240012. Property owner Brett and Delilah, did I pronounce that correctly? Hooten. So would staff please present the case?
Yes, ma'am. This is a request, a permit to convert an existing accessory structure to a guest house for personal or family use. Existing zoning is E2 estate. A resident and accessory structure are in question. The subject property lies within a conventional single-family residential subdivision. It's 0.78 acres. The applicant in this case, is in the process of converting an accessory structure into an accessory structure dwelling unit for a parent. The inspection division inspected the structure and determined it was sound. The applicant stated the structure will be used only for family purposes. You can see to the back in the aerial view where the structure will be pretty much obscured from most of the property owners. You can see the zoning on the zoning version, map version right here. Since 1990, there have been 31 cases of a request for guest house structure similar to this. Only 3 have been denied. 1 because the house or apartment was constructed without a permit. The other one was in an R6 zoning where the acreage was not conducive for the garage or accessory structure, and the other one was denied because the apartment or guest house was to be used for a model living unit. Staff, you can see in the bottom of on page 5 and 6 of your packet, inside view of the structure has already been framed out. So that being said, staff recommends approval for case A240012.
Thank you. Does any member of the board have questions for staff or the applicant regarding this case? Okay, at this time we would like to open a public hearing regarding this item. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in opposition or support to this request? Okay, well, if there's no opposition, board members, if you don't have any questions too, the public hearing is now closed. Can I have a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for approval for case number A-24-0012 with the stipulation that the guest house be used for personal or family use only, not for rental or short-term rental purposes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, well, your variance has been granted. Okay. I'm sorry.
Did we put that up? I wasn't really listening. We made sure, we had the request about the room, not room. Okay, all right. Oh.
The next one is case number A240013. Please present it.
Yes, ma'am. This variance for the terms of the zoning regulation to construct a building 27 feet from the property line in lieu of the required 35 feet to allow an existing commercial building and attached office building to remain as located 25 feet from the front property line along Industrial Drive in lieu of the 35 feet. This is a plot plan. That's the existing building. Perhaps I should go to the existing building is right here so you can see it. You see how it skews to the property line with the parking and all the skews to the property line. We go back to the plot plan. The existing building with the driveway, as you can see, causes a hardship or a problem. The building is skewed. Actually, to the rear of the new proposed building would be in compliance. However, because of the hardship of the driveway and how the building, the existing building is situated, the front of the building could not come into compliance. The original plot plan was submitted to us when it was sent to Roads and Transportation. They had some concerns about site distance, so this is the modified plot plan that Roads and Transportation accepted. You can see the zoning, light industrial around it. There are some R4 multi-family. However, staff looked at it. There didn't seem to be any really hardship to any adjacent property owners or business. Therefore, staff recommends approval with the stipulation that the proposed new building shall be located no closer than 30 feet to the right-of-way of the industrial parkway.
Thank you. Does any member of the board have questions for the staff or the applicant regarding this case? Now, at this time, we'd like to open a public hearing regarding this item. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in opposition or support to this request? Silence. Okay. If there's no opposition, and board members, if you don't have any questions from the applicant right now, do y'all have any? Okay. Well, the public hearing is now closed. And can I have a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I recommend approval of case number A-24-0013 with the stipulation that the proposed new building shall be located no closer than 30 feet to the right of the industrial parkway.
All in favor?
Need a second?
Oh,
Second
I'm
the
sorry.
motion.
Did anyone say a second?
I second.
Second. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, well, your variance has been granted. Okay, our next case is A240014, property owners Wayne and Cynthia Hawk. Okay, thank you. Okay, would the staff please present this case?
Yes, ma'am. This is another request for a guest house variance from the terms of the zoning regulation to allow the guest house to be constructed in the front of the primary residence on the property. You can see how it's a large tract of land. It's pretty much obscured from anything else. Existing zoning is R1. It's 1.65 acres. The property lies at the end of a cul-de-sac in a conventional single-family subdivision. All adjacent lots are relatively large. The area is either zone R1 in the county or comprised of larger lots in either R1 zoning or Residence A zoning in the city of Mountain Brook. The city of Mountain Brook zoning requires a 30,000 square foot minimum lot size. The property is adjacent to the I-459 right of way to the east. It's another guest variance for a guest house. we actually need your blessing. If it was a A1, we wouldn't have to be here, but since it's zone R1, they need a variance. The property contains, again, 1.65 acres. It's more than 275 feet from the driveways connecting to Spring Valley. You can see on the area is relatively obscure. The same third precedence case applies here as in the first case, 12. Since 1990, 31 cases have been requested. It's in the staff report. It's the same 3 denials. Therefore, that being said, staff recommends approval for case A240014.
Thank you. Does any member of the board have questions for staff or the applicant regarding this case? At this time, we would like to open a public hearing regarding this item. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in opposition or support to this request? And I assume you're in support, right? Okay. If you would like to speak or just stay silent, okay. All right, if there's no opposition, do y'all have any questions for the applicant? No. Okay, then the public hearing is now closed. And may I have a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve case A-24-0014 with the following stipulation: that the guest house be used for personal or family use only, not for rental or short-term rental purposes.
Do I have a second?
Second motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, well, your variance has been granted also.
We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. And that pretty little baby, I guess.
Fun, after all sons and granddaughters.
All right.
Their name's Augusta, so we want the masters. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay, since there's no one here on the others, do we just, obviously, we want to call him? Pardon me? Okay, in case somebody comes in. Okay, the next one is case number A240015, property owner Walter Russell. Please present the case.
Yes, ma'am. It's a variance for the terms of the zoning resolution to allow 2 existing residences to remain in a single tract and to allow a guest house. Existing zoning is A1. As you can see, it's A1, surrounded by zoning in Mountain Brook. The subject property consists of 2 houses. It's 25.81 acres. It retains its original A1 zoning. Again, we need your blessing, the board's blessing, to allow them to have a guest house. The same precedents that in the other 2, that since 1990, there have been 31 cases questioning guest house, apartment, garage. Only 3 have been denied. The property consists of 25.81 acre tract, which is 1 tract out of a connected 94 total acreage owned by the same property owner. The tract in question contains 2 residences near the frontage, a large barn, and a log cabin structure. I think we have another picture. No, we didn't add that picture. But you can see on the area, hold on. Excuse me. That's the existing log cabin, and that's the proposed log cabin that's going to be constructed. You can see the existing houses that are already there, and this shows the zoning A1 of the where the large tract of land is. I must add as a caveat that there are floodplain exist on the property, and they'll have to get floodplain permits. Like I said, floodplain traverses through the property. The applicant has ample space and room to subdivide the property, resulting in 1 residence per lot. Therefore, staff recommends approval with the stipulation that the proposed guest house be used for personal or family use only, that is not for rental or short-term rental purposes.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions for the staff?
No.
There's not an applicant here, so, okay. Since we have no more questions and all that, the public hearing is now closed. Okay. Can I have a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve case A-24-0015 with the stipulation that the proposed guest house be used for personal or family use only, not for rental or short-term rental purposes.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This variance has been granted. Okay, and I guess we're down to our last one. Is that correct? Yes. Case number A-24-0016, property owners Randall and Jeannie Palmore. Please present the case.
Yes, ma'am. This is a variance to allow construction of a 4,800 square foot accessory structure in lieu of the maximum cumulative allowed 1,200 square foot for an accessory structure. Existing zoning is R1. The residence is under construction. The size of the property is 5.56 acres. Section 605.1 limits the number of accessory structures to 2 with an allowable cumulative square footage of 1,200 square feet for properties in residential zones and properties in R1 zoning. There's no land-related hardship with regards to the request of the variance, but the request is minor in nature. The size and number of accessory structures is restricted in the residential zoning, as previously stated, and the properties in A1 agricultural zoning that contain less than 1 acre. The subject property again contains 5.6 acres, one residence under construction. If this variance property was zoned A1, again, it would not need this variance. There are no other accessory structures on the property. There are no adverse impacts anticipated for granting this request. Since 2000, there are 34 cases allowed for structures larger than 1,200 square feet in residential zones. Of those cases, only 3 have been denied. Therefore, staff recommends approval of case A-24-0016.
Thank you. Does any member of the board have questions for staff? Okay, then this public hearing is now closed since there's no one here to speak about it. So may I have a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I make a motion for case number A-24-0016 for approval.
Second motion.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then that variance has been granted also. Have all members of the board had a chance to review the case materials and minutes from the February 26, 2024 hearing that were sent to us electronically, and you also have in your packet here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 26, 2024, and to approve as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, minutes are approved, and this meeting is
Almost got a record. You almost got a record.
I mean, that is good.
I'm asking
Wow.
myself, Michael.
It will.
He said, yeah.